Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching how to knit this gorgeous shawl for wrap. It's an amazing piece. Look at the gorgeous border there. It's a leaf border. And that design is in the center. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of materials you're gonna need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I do my videos in Spanish and English, so if you receive a Spanish video, look in the main page on my channel that you will find the English video. To make this shawl, I'm gonna use loops and thread, Joy DK, 100% anti-peeling acrylic, 100 grams or 250 meters, light 3. They recommend to use 4 millimeters netting needles, but I'm gonna use a 5 millimeter, and the color is pink. I have 2 of these. I don't know the amount I'm gonna use for the entire piece, so I add them as I work. I'm gonna use circular needle because we're gonna start with few stitches and we're gonna start increasing to create the shawl. So these ones are 5 millimeter US 8 or UK number 6. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissor, and if you would like, you can use a marker. I maybe need to use one myself. This is the border that we're gonna do for our shawl. Don't get intimidated. When I saw this stitch, I thought it was gonna be more difficult to do, but it's very easy. You start with 8 stitches and you start increasing until you work until row 17, row 18. You do some decrease and start all over again. So it's not that difficult. So this is the stitch until here. So I try it for a shawl, and that's how we're gonna start. But we don't gonna do this. We're gonna work like this, and then start the increases probably in here. Okay, that way you don't get this. This look like a I did it an afterthought, but it's not. So we're gonna start now with a stitch. So I'm gonna leave this in the description box, and you follow that in the video and you will get this, no problem. Something that I wanted to show you is, if by any reason you want to slow down my videos, you can go here in the setting in the video and you'll see a speed. You click on the speed, and to the top will be slow, and to the lowers it will be faster. You can do this with all my videos or any video in YouTube. If you have a yarn winder, I recommend to do a little cake with your yarn. That will, it's easier to pull the strand from the center, and the ball of yarn is not all over the place, it's in one place. I'm gonna start my work with this netting needle. They are shorter and easier for me to handle with few stitches. So unfortunately I frogged the little sample that I did for the leaf edging, but since I don't like the yarn over that I did for the increases, I'm gonna do the increases solid in those 4 border stitches. So I already wrote here, write down the changes. I'm gonna leave this until row 18 in the description box, and the increases always continue. You will see I will explain in each right side row or odd number row. You always do 1 increase to make the shawl bigger. So for that, always stay the same, and then after row 18 you go back to row 1 again, except for those increases that you continue with those increases. You will see T box marker. So I'm gonna leave a tail long enough for casting on 8 stitches. Here is the first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm gonna do a knot here to secure my work. And this is the right side of the piece. where you're going to start with row 1. Row 1 is 5 net, yarn over, 1 net, yarn over, 2 net. So in here you're going to increase 2 stitches, but those stitches for the leaf, not for the increases at the part of the shawl. So you're going to net 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yarn to the front, net 1. So when you have to do a yarn over, you have to know which stitch come next, because if it's a purl you have to wrap around your needle, and if it's a net you only have to bring your yarn to the front, and that will create the yarn over. When you net your stitch, you're creating the yarn over and top of the needle. So yarn over, net 1, yarn to the front, yarn over, net 2, 1 and 2, and that is row 1. Now we're going to work in row 2, that is the wrong side of the piece. In row 2 we have to do 1 increase, and this is part of the leaf, at the edging of the leaf. It's not part of the white part of the shawl. So you're always going to do in the wrong side the increase, a purl stitch. So now you're going to purl 6, that's 1, 2, that was the yarn over, you see, you grab that strand, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to do an increase in the wrong side, so you have to do it as a purl. So you're going to go to that back strand, you pass your needle, you purl that one, you keep that one in here, and then you bring it to the front and purl that one. That was the increase. Now you're going to net these 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work in row 3 that we're going to start the increases at the same time for the part that create the shawl part. Now we're going to work on row 3. In row 3 we're going to start the increase for the stocking net part of the shawl, that is in these 4 that we have here. That will be a stocking stitch, and then the rest is we're creating the leaf. So in here these 4 are the border stitch, so we're gonna net 3, increase in number 4, and then you will have 5 already for the increase at the side of the shawl. So you'll see you're gonna net 3 now, and here's what I did, the change at the stitch from the other one that I tried. So you're gonna net 3, you do a stockinette for the shawl. So in number 4 you're gonna net in the back strand, net 1, keep this one in here and go to the front and net in that same stitch. Now you have 5. I recommend to get a marker and place it there, that way you know in the one before the marker you in the right side of the piece you only have to increase, okay, because that will change as you have more stitches. It'll be easy. Now you have to do 1 purl, net 2, yarn over, so yarn over and net 1, the yarn is in the front. When you go to the back to the net that one, you create the yarn over, so yarn over, net 1, yarn over and net 3, the last 3. And that is row 3. Now we're going to work on row 4. For row 8 you're going to purl 8, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then the last one before the marker, you're gonna do an increase, a purl increase. So you're gonna go to the back strand in here, you're gonna do a purl, keeping this one in here, and then you go to the front strand and you do a purl. So now day 5, after the marker, there will be knit. This is the stocking knit part of the shawl. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're gonna work in row 5. So in row 5, you're gonna knit 4, and then number 5 you're gonna do the increase. So in the first increase in here, you had 4, and you knit 3, and in number 4 you do the increase, and now you have 5, so you'll knit 4, and in number 5 you'll do the increase. So in the one before the marker, each time you're working the right side, you have to do an increase. So I'm gonna knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the last one here, I'm gonna knit 1 in the back strand and 1 in the front strand. We're gonna pass the marker, yarn to the front, you're gonna purl 2, you're gonna knit 3, yarn to the front, knit 1, that will be yarn over knit 1, and yarn over knit 4. So you bring the yarn to the front, and then from the front you go and knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So each time in the right side you're doing 2 increase each time you do the yarn over, and in the wrong side, in this side, the marker for the sleeve, you're doing 1 increase. So it's quite a few increases to keep track, but I recommend to write down the pattern from the description box, and you work with a stitch in the video and the pattern, and you will get these increases. Now we're gonna work in row 6. That will be 10 purl, and in the 11 you will do an increase, a purl increase, and then you will knit these 6 in here, because now there's 6 knit. So now we're gonna work in row 6. Now we're gonna work in row 6, and we're gonna purl 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do an increase purlwise. So you're going to go to the back here, at the back strand of the next stitch, and you purl 1, and then you come to the front strand of that stitch and purl another one. So you had the increase. Now you're going to knit 7 stitches, this one and the 6 after the marker. So you knit that one as the marker and knit the 6. Now we're gonna work on row 7. We're gonna work on row 7. We're gonna knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 increase, knit twice. So you're gonna go to the back strand, knit 1, come to the front strand, and knit the other one. Pass your marker, yarn to the front. You're gonna purl 3, 1, 2, and 3. Knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn to the front, knit 1, yarn to the front, work yarn over, and knit these 5. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're gonna work in row 8. Now we're gonna work on row 8, and we're gonna purl 12, and in number 13 we're gonna do an increase purlwise. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now in 13 you're gonna do an increase. So in the pattern you will have increase, INC. So that means in the next one you're gonna do an increase purlwise. You always this increase, you're gonna do it in the purl row, this one, the front side. So in the back strand you're gonna purl 1, and in the front strand you're gonna purl the next one. Yarn to the back, and you're gonna knit the rest. So there will be 9 stitches, 2 in here and 7 and the other side at the marker. So you're gonna knit these 7 stitches. Now we're gonna work on row 9, and in row 9 we're gonna start working some decrease in this side at the marker for the leaf, but this side we still continue with the increase because that's the part of the shawl. So you're gonna knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're gonna do an increase knitwise. So you're gonna knit 1 in the back strand, and then 1 in the front strand. You're gonna pass the marker, and you're gonna purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the instruction of the pattern, you will see skpo. That will be to slip a knit stitch, you know, like knitwise, and then knit one and pass over that slip stitch over that knit one. So you pass the yarn to the back. Don't get intimidated by this terminology. It's really easy, skpo. Once you learn them, it's easy. So you're gonna pass one knitwise to the right hand needle. You're gonna knit the next one, and you're gonna pass that one and top of the knit one and bind it off. Okay. So now you're gonna knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're gonna knit 2 together, these 2, and then you're gonna knit the last one. So you're done. You 2 decrease in this side of the leaf. So now we're gonna work in row 10, sorry. Now in row 10, sorry that I said row 8, it's row 10. We're gonna purl 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do the increase purlwise. I know we are decreasing in the right side, but we're still doing the increase in the purl row. So you're going to go to the back strand, you do a purl, and come to the front strand and do a purl. And now you're going to yarn to the front or yarn to the back, and you're going to knit these 3 plus this 8, in total 11 stitch. Now we're going to work on row 11, and we're going to knit 7. And this part really you don't have to be counting each time you work, because as you work you're always increasing, and here no matter what you do in the other side, always you have to increase in the right side 1 stitch and the last one, okay, and this one here and the one before the marker. So when you have, I don't know, like 30 stitches, it will be a little bit more easy to guide yourself by the marker. So you're going to knit until the last one before the marker. That is where you're going to do your increase. In this one you're going to knit 1 in the back strand and come to the front and knit on the next one. Pass the marker to the other side, yarn to the front, and you're going to purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're gonna skpo, so you're gonna slip 1 stitch knitwise. So yarn to the back, slip 1 stitch knitwise, knit the next one, and bind off that stitch on top of that one. Cast it off, bind off. Now you're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Knit 2 together. 2 tug, that's 2 together, and knit the last one. Now we're going to work on row 12. We're going to work on row 12, and we're going to purl 8. 6, 7, and 8. Now we're gonna do an increase, net 2, purl 1, and knit the rest. We're gonna start doing the base of the next leaf. So here I have my 8. Now an increase purlwise, so you're gonna go to the back strand, purl 1, and purl 1 in the same stitch in the front strand. Now yarn to the back, knit 2, yarn to the front, purl 1, and then you're gonna knit the rest. You're gonna knit this one that is before the marker and the ones after the marker. Now we're gonna work on row 13, and you're gonna knit 8, and you're gonna increase in the last before the marker, or you're gonna knit all of them and make sure that the one before the marker is the one that you're gonna do the increase. Now we're gonna do the increase in the last knit, so a knit in the back strand and a knit in this front strand at the same stitch. You're gonna pass the marker, and you're gonna purl 1, knit 1, purl 4, now skpo. If you look at your stitch, you'll see that here is where you have to slip the stitch knitwise and knit the next one and pass that one over that one, because you can see here the knit like a 3D knit stitch in here. Okay, it's higher than the rest. So yarn to the back, slip stitch knitwise, knit the next one, and bind off or cast off that stitch over the knit stitch. Now you're going to knit 3, knit 2 together, and knit the last one. And we finished row 13, and we're going to work in row 14. And in here, in this stitch here, we start working the base of the next leaf. Like it's saying flower in Spanish. And you can see the leaf now in here. Now we want to work row 14. We're going to purl 6, increase, purlwise, knit 3, purl 1, and knit the rest. So we're going to purl 6 stitches. for row 15, you're gonna knit until you have one left for the knit increase. So it will be 9 knit, and in the 10 you're gonna do the knit increase. Now we're gonna do the knit increase. So knit in the back strand. Knit in the front strand, pass the marker. Now we're gonna purl 1, knit 1, purl 5, now skpo. So yarn to the back, slip stitch knitwise, knit the next one, and slip that stitch over the knit stitch. Now you're gonna knit 1, knit 2 together, and knit 1, and we finished row 15. Now we're gonna do 16, and we're almost done our first leaf. Now for row 16, we're gonna purl 4, increase purlwise, knit 4, purl 1, and knit the rest. Row 17, we're gonna knit 10, and in the last stitch we're gonna do the knit increase. Now we're gonna purl 1, knit 1, purl 6, SK2PO. This time we're gonna do 2 together and slip the stitch over that one, and knit 1. So SKPO is a single stitch knitted, and then the one that you slip pass over that stitch, and the SK2PO is when you knit 2 together and pass the stitch over that one. So it's not that difficult to do. It's more scary thinking about it than doing it. So you're gonna purl 1, you're gonna knit 1, you're gonna purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now yarn to the back, slip 1 stitch knitwise, and then knit these 2 together, and I slip that stitch over that stitch that you did together, like that. That's it. That's the SK2PO, and knit the last one. Now we're gonna work on row 18, that we're gonna do some decrease, and then after that we start all over again with row number 1, and we have one of our first leaf done, one of many. Now in row 18 we're gonna purl 2 together, we're gonna bind our 5 stitches. So you're gonna purl the next one, put this one on top of that one, that's 1, purl the next one, that's 2, purl the next one, that's 3, purl the next one, that's 4, and purl the next one, and that's 5. You have 1 stitch here and 3 in this side of the marker, so you're gonna knit 1, purl 1, and knit the rest. So you're gonna knit this one and the rest of the other one, other side of the marker. So from this side of the marker you will have 4, and then you will have all the stitches and the other side of the marker. that will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 stitches on the other side of the marker. So we finished our first leaf. So now we're going to start with repetition of row 1, but that changed because we started with 8 stitches, so the 4 on the side of the marker and 4 on the other side of the marker, that is the ones in here. So we start with net 5, yarn over, net 1, yarn over, net 2. So now it's a little bit different because we have all these increases on this side. So you have to guide it yourself from the ones and the other side of the marker. So if you count in here, from this 4, when you net 5, so you net this 4, that was the 4 from the beginning, and then you have to net 1 in the other side of the marker. You see, those are the 5. So you're going to net 1, yarn over, net 1, yarn over, net 2. Okay? So I'm going to do one more, the repetition of one of the sleeve, this 18 row, and I will guide you through the changes. So in the next leaf, you can do it all by yourself, all by yourself. Okay, so let's start row 1 all over again. Something that I want to suggest is that you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches and place a marker in here. That way you're going to be working in these stitches like you did from row 1 to 18, exactly in those. The increases in this one here, you forget about this one, just continue netting those, and just the increase in this one. I think it will be easier if you do that, placing another marker, and that's what I'm going to do for mine. That way it's easier to keep track of the stitches. Okay, I net these ones here and I place the marker. I have 4 in here and 4 in the other side. So these are going to be a little bit different, this 1 and 2, but after that everything stays the same. So in here I net 3, and the last one I'm going to do an increase. That's what is different than in the other one. In the first motif we don't did that increase in here in row 1. So now you're going to net 1, yarn to the front for a yarn over, net 1, yarn to the front for a yarn over, net 2. So in 1 and 2 is where the little change. Other than that, everything stays the same from this marker to this marker. Okay, so now we're going to work on row 2. So we're going to work on row 2, and when we work row 2 in the first leaf, we don't have that marker here, so we have to move that marker because we had to do 6 purl. So it's 6 purl before the marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now you have to do an increase purlwise. So you're going to go to this one, do the purl in the back, purl in the front, and now you're going to place your marker back, because remember we don't have the marker when we did the row 2 the first time around. So now you're supposed to net 3, but remember we did the increase, so you have to net the rest. So you're going to knit all the stitches until the end. And now we are right in track. Now we're going to work in row 3. So because in row 1, when we did this one, we worked without doing the increase for this and here, and now we did work the increase. We have an extra stitch between this marker and here. Okay, and instead to have 11 stitch, we have 12 because we did that increase in row, the repetition of row 1. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna knit this stitch, remove the marker, knit the next one, place the marker, and then we'll be on track with our 11 stitches in here. And from row 3, from here on, you will have the 11 stitches, and you will work the stitches as you're supposed to from row 3, 4, 5, 6, from this marker on. Okay, so that's the only change for those rows, and then after that you continue exactly the same as we did the other rows. So each time you work the beginning of row 1 and 2 and 3, from now on you have to do a little bit of a change, and that's it. Okay, so now you're gonna knit until the marker. Remember when we work in row 3 the first time around, and this one with knit 3, and then number 4 we did increase. But if you look now, you have 3 from the other side of the marker, and the one that you have to do the increase is in the other side of the marker, because we don't have a marker when we did a row. After we did those 4 was when we placed the marker. So now you're gonna knit these 3, and we have to fix that. 1, 2, and 3. Remove your marker, and number 4, like you read your pattern, you're supposed to do the increase, and after that was when we place the marker. So you knit 1 in the back strand, knit 1 in the back strand, and knit 1 in the front strand, and then was when we place the marker. Now we are on the right track. Okay, so now you have the amount of stitches here that you're supposed to have in the other side of the marker. So now you have to purl 1, and you will see purl 1, knit 2, yarn over, knit 1, so yarn to the front, knit 1, yarn over, you see, yarn to the front, and knit 3. So we are right on track in row 3. Now you have to repeat exactly what is saying in row 4, 5, and all that from this marker here, from the green. That's why it's nice to have 2 color markers. From this one is where you start each repetition of each row. Okay, and you finish in that one, and then this one is just a straight knit. You are doing only the increase in between these 2 for the shawl, and the increases in here for the leaf. Now we're gonna work in repetition of row 4, and you have to purl 8, increase, knit 5. So you're gonna purl 8 in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and increase purlwise. So in here you go to the back strand at this one. You see this one is right in place in this side of the marker. So you purl in that strand and come to the front and purl in that one. So you did the increase, and then you're supposed to knit 5. Those were the ones that we had in the first time around, but now we have these 5 plus the rest in the other side of the marker that you have to knit. So you knit all your stitches until the end. And according to the instructions, you will be guiding yourself from this side of the marker and here, and this one's here. Okay. So now I already net these ones here, and then I start row 5. You always start the row after this marker. So in row 5 then net 4, increase and number 5, and then you pass the marker. So you're gonna net 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase netwise, so one in the back strand, one in the front strand, pass the marker. So now you're going to purl 2, net 3, yarn over net 1, yarn over net 4. So yarn to the front, you're going to purl 2, net 3, yarn to the front for a yarn over net 1, yarn to the front for a yarn over net 4. And now in row 6 you have to purl 10, increase purlwise, and then net 7. Now we're gonna work in repetition of row 7, and I already knit until this marker because there from here is where each row starts. So you'll have to knit 5, increase knitwise, and then pass the marker. So you're gonna knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Increase knitwise, so knit in the back strand, bring to the front, knit in the front strand, and pass the marker. Now you have to purl 3, yarn to the front, purl 3, 1, 2, and 3, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, knit 1, so yarn to the front, put yarn over, knit 1, yarn to the front, yarn over, knit 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So probably you don't can hear me really clear because it's downpouring outside. So here's our row 7. Now we're gonna work on row 8. In row 8 you have to purl 12, increase, and knit the rest. So we're gonna purl 12. In row 9 you're going to knit 6, increase knitwise, and then pass the marker. So you're going to knit this 6 and do an increase, and this one before the marker. Once you pass the marker, you're gonna purl 4. Now you have skpo, so you're gonna pass the yarn to the back, and you're gonna slip 1 stitch netwise, like you're gonna net, but you're gonna pass it without working. You're gonna net the next one, and then you're gonna slip over that one. Now you're gonna net 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Two net together. These two together. 2 tug, and net the last one. And we finished row 9. Now we're gonna work on row 10. Now for row 10, purl 10, increase purlwise, and knit the rest. So it's 10 purl, increase, and the rest is net. And row 7, you have to knit 7, increase, and then pass the marker. That's what I'm gonna do in here. So I'll meet you here when it's time to. Now you have to purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is skpo. So you're gonna pass this one netwise, like you're gonna net, but you don't gonna work it. Just pass it to the other needle. You're gonna net the next one, and you're gonna pass that one over that net stitch. Now you're gonna knit 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're gonna knit 2 together, and then you're gonna knit the last one, and you finish row 11. Now we're gonna work on row 12. Now for row 12, we're gonna purl 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we're gonna do an increase purlwise. So you're gonna come to the back strand in here, you're gonna purl that one, and then you come to the one in the front and purl that one. Yarn to the back, you're gonna knit 2, 1 and 2, you're gonna purl 1, and you're gonna knit the rest. You're gonna knit this one and the rest that you have on your needle. For row 13, you're gonna knit 8, and then you're gonna do the increase, and I already worked until here because you know we're already counting only from here on. Okay, so you're gonna knit 8 and increase in the last one before you pass the marker. Once you pass the marker, you're gonna purl 1 and knit 1, and we start already working in the next part of the sleeve, in this the leaf in this part here at the stem. So now you're gonna purl 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, skpo. So you're gonna slip this stitch knitwise, you're gonna knit the next one, and you're gonna slip that one over that stitch. You're gonna knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, knit 2 tug, so knit 2 together and knit the last stitch, and you finish row 13. Now we're gonna work on row 14. Row 14, purl 6, increase purlwise, knit 3, purl 1, and knit the rest. row 15, net 9, increase knitwise and pass the marker. Purl 1, once you pass the marker, net 1, purl 5, four, and 5 is skpo. So yarn to the back, slip the stitch without working, knit the next one and pass that one over that one, knit 1, knit these two together, and knit the last one. And we finished row 15. Now we're gonna work in row 16, and then we have left 17 and 18. Row 16, purl 4, increase, so it's in the purl stitch, back strand first, purl, front strand, purl, knit 4, purl 1, and knit the rest, this one and all of them to the end. You're gonna knit. Now in row 17 you're gonna knit 10 and increase before you pass the marker. Once you pass the marker, you're gonna purl 1, knit 1, purl 6, skpo, so you're gonna slip this stitch without working knitwise, so it's a 2 stitch decrease. So you're gonna do these two together, and then you pass this one over that one, and then you're gonna knit the last one. Now we're gonna work in row 18, sorry, that is the one that we're gonna decrease and finish our second leaf. Row 18, purl 2 together, now we're gonna bind off 5 stitches. So we're gonna purl the next one and bind off this one, that's 1, purl the next one, bind off 2, purl the next one, bind off 3, purl the next one, bind off 4, and purl the next one, and bind off 5. And you count this one, and this one you'll have 4 and this side of the marker. And now you're gonna knit 1, purl 1, and you're gonna knit the rest of your stitches, and then from there we'll start again with repetition of row 1, but this time you're gonna do it like I showed you in the second leaf, because we have to be moving the markers out of place. I will show you that one more time, and then from row 4 and on you can continue by yourself. So knit. Once you finish the second motif, it will look like this. It looks really nice. I really love this design, and I recommend to use one color yarn. Don't use a variegated yarn because you don't gonna see the leaf if you use a BC yarn. So one color is perfect. So like you see, this marker is now in here, and then you have to move that marker past this one until here, and then you'll have your A stitch again. And then we're gonna start with repetition row 1, and I will show you one more time row 1, 2, and 3, and 4 how to move the marker, and then from there you can take it all the way to row 18 and go back again over and over until you have this, the length that you want for this part of the shawl. I'm gonna knit and remove this marker until I have 4 left, and here this 4 before this marker, and then I will place the markers one more time but in here. Okay, so you're gonna knit until here. We're going to work on row 1, and this time I'm going to remove the marker until I work on row 3. That was when I placed that marker in the first leaf. So you're supposed to, it's a net 5 and then yarn over net 1, but we have to do an increase in here because we already are working in the second and the third motif of the leaf, so we have to keep with those increase. So what you're gonna do is, in here in row 1, you're gonna do this like in row 3. You're gonna knit 3, and you're gonna increase 1 here knitwise, I'm gonna remove the marker until row 3, and then you're gonna knit another one because you're supposed to knit 5, so you just increase in number 4, and then yarn over net 1, yarn over net 2. Now in row 2 you purl 6, increase, and knit the rest of the stitches. well, in row 2 we're supposed to finish with 11 stitches, and here, but if you count, you will have 12 because that was the increase that we did in row 1 in this leaf. And the first one we don't did that increase, but after the first one and all that repetition row 1, you had to do that increase because otherwise you don't are increasing for the shawl. So you will have 12 stitches here, so you're gonna knit 1 more in this side. You're gonna place the marker, and you are right on track. You're supposed to have 11 stitches there, and now you have 11 stitches. So the marker is just to make things easier. That way it's easier for you to know where you should be doing the increases and the leaf. The markers are optional, and that was my option to do with markers. So now you will do row 3 like row 3 in the pattern. It's a knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, increase a knit stitch in the next one, and then you place this marker. So now you have the marker where they're supposed to be. And now you purl 1, knit 2, yarn over knit 1, so yarn to the front, put the yarn over knit 1, yarn over knit 3, so bring the yarn to the front and knit the last 3, making the yarn over and top of your needle. And like that you finish row 3 and row 4, and on it stays exactly the same like the pattern. It's just row 1 and 2 where is the increase, and you have to move the markers around. But after that, once you finish row 3, you continue row 4, 8 purls, 1 increase purlwise, and then you knit the rest. And you continue rows 5, 6 until row 18, and then you start again with row 1. I finished my third leaf, and I love this leaf border. I removed this marker after row 4 because I really don't need it in here, because I know the increase in the right side is before this marker. Only need the marker for my row 1, 2, and 3 because we're going to be working in these 8 stitches, and it's easier to keep track of your work at the beginning of those rows. After that is just working the increase before this marker and working what you're supposed to do after the marker in these stitches that will be increasing. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the pattern, the written pattern here. Remember, I'm not good at writing pattern. I hardly have any because I never have taken my time to learn how to do a proper pattern. So I'm trying to do my best. So I hope you guys understand what I'm gonna leave here in the description box. And how the shawl is coming, and then 5 the leaf. Now I'm going to work on number 6. So far I'm done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, working in leaf number 10, and I'm almost done my first ball of yarn. So 2 balls of yarn is not enough for this project, at least 2 balls of this, because I'm not even halfway there. So it will be probably 2.5 ball of yarn that I will need for the project. So I went yesterday to Michael. They had the 50% coupon, and I bought another one, so I have 2 more, and I already used almost 1. So I want to let you know that you need more than 2 of these. If you're using the same ball of yarn, you need more than 2. Okay, so these ball of yarn are 100 grams, but they only have 250 meters, 273 yards, or 3.5 ounces. So if you're using a different type of yarn that have more meters, so you maybe need only 2 of them. So, and here we finish video number 1. In part 2, I'll be showing you how to do the diamond stitch for the center of the shawl and how to do the decrease. So see you next time with video number 2 and how to finish this beautiful shawl.